Hey, this is Ashton Bridier, Birmingham, Alabama, and this is my video out. So I was actually raised in Kimberly, which is like population of like 900, I would say. Cool background on Kimberly, like my family actually founded it. So still to this day, the majority of Kimberly is still like my cousins, my aunts, my uncles. Whatever you did on Friday night was at your mama's by Saturday. It's very much so like a Mayberry type town. So like growing up, everyone within the family went to this Southern Baptist church, which is just actually in my backyard. And growing up, my uncle, he was a deacon at the church. He was actually mayor of the town, and he was gay. So back then, it was illegal. There was no even such thing as don't ask, don't tell. It was straight, someone got word of it, chances are you're gonna end up in cuffs. And that's actually what had happened to him, and it turned the family upside down for sure. You know, living in a small town like that, you think that you have skeletons, but you have none. You really don't. Somebody somewhere is, again, always looking out for you. And when they catch word, sometimes it doesn't matter if it's family or not.
First of all, how do you identify?
She, her.
And lesbian?
Mm-hmm. Yep, absolutely.
When did you first know that you were lesbian?
Young. You know, from an early birth, typically, you always know that something's different, right? You're like, I'm not attracted to that guy, or I really want to be her friend. You know, so you start picking up early, but again, growing up in a town like that, you're not supposed to. So I actually came out in high school, where it had kind of gotten around that I was wearing cargo shorts, hanging out with the dudes. So word had definitely kind of gotten around, and had actually gotten around to my teachers and whatnot. And again, Kimberly is that town that just keep under wraps. You know, and that's kind of the way that my mom approached it. She was affirming of it to an extent, but it was, no one needs to know, right? So word did get out. Word got out to my high school, to my teachers, and it was actually coming down to prom that my principal, my first block teacher, and the prom counselor had actually pulled me out of my first block class and had noted that it was a rumor that I was to be showing up in a tux. And if that was to have happened, I would be escorted out of prom. I actually went ahead and went on, did wear a gown, but I was miserable the entire time because it wasn't me, and no one got that. Soon after that was really like when the rebellion hit. It was like pulling teeth to get me to show up to class. I couldn't tell my mom because my mom had already put the fear of God in me that nobody needed to know, so I couldn't go home and necessarily tell her, you know, that I'm being bullied. I was getting fights with people. I had in-school suspension all the time because I was done. But I couldn't tell her. I felt very alone. But I don't think my story's the only case like that.
What did you do to cope?
I don't know if there is coping for it. You know, you can mask it, but coping with it is almost unrealistic. It's still here today. It's 2019, and we progressed slightly with gay rights, and then on the drop of a dime, it feels like we're instantly going backwards. So there's always a fight. There's no coping with it. You're always going to have to deal with it. I guess if there's any coping mechanism, I decided not to be bullied anymore. I decided not to stand back and watch people kill themselves because they just know there's something not right about them from what mainstream media is telling them to be. So I stood up. I began performing at a very young age. Underage, as a matter of fact. but got heavily involved with performing, which got me more involved in the community, and I kind of started realizing I do have a voice. And not only do I have a voice, if you want a voice, I want to help you. I want to help this person. And I think that's something with anybody that knows and understands that they have a voice, which is anyone. You combine it with others, it speaks volume. So I am drag king, so to say, or speak, but I don't necessarily do like the beard and whatnot. So there's obviously multiple different like styles. You have your femme queens, your drag kings. So I guess we all kind of identify differently, but I don't know. When I actually hit the stage, I actually look a lot like I do right now. It's just me. That was my out.
Who was the first person that you told?
Out, probably my mother. Well, officially, I mean, like my friends and whatnot, that small group of friends and all. I guess we were all kind of experimenting, if you will. But to like officially confirm with someone, it's probably my mom. I think she'd already kind of been picking up the signs, just beginning to get very inquisitive. She didn't take it well. And so with my mom, I think it was instantly a trigger back to her when the media had came out and found out about my uncle being gay, because it was just cameras, media, people constantly knocking on the door and whatnot. So I think it was instantly a backlash. It's not that she wasn't affirming, she just knew what I was going to have to deal with. It was a private investigator, essentially. He was set up to go meet up with somebody, so a gentleman, if you will. And as soon as business was fixing to play out, he was handcuffed. And as soon as word was released, the church kicked him out, the town kicked him out, family kicked him out.
Do you feel any sort of responsibility to right the wrongs that the community did to your uncle?
I do, for sure.
And by being out, you feel like that's a way that you can sort of make amends?
Absolutely.
Cool. I'm sure. Is your uncle still alive?
No, he actually passed away from AIDS.
How did that affect everyone?
Worry, scare. I was very young when he was sick, passing away essentially. He didn't actually know it for a while, that he was actually worked for American Red Cross, and he actually went to go donate blood. And I actually came across his, after his death, I actually came across his original letter from the American Red Cross. We apologize, you can no longer donate blood, you have now tested positive for HIV/AIDS. And like I said, he was employed there. So in the instance of one single day almost, his life as he knew it was gone.
Do you know what year that was?
It was the early 90s.
Well, I'm sure that your uncle would be so proud of you. Seems like it.
I would hope so.
Yeah. You can't do that, or I'm going to do that too.
I know, right? We didn't plan on Kleenex for this.
We got some Kleenex.
I don't know. I think everyone has this chapter change, right? Like, you used to mask it. You used to cover it up with drugs and alcohol. Act like it didn't hurt, but eventually you have to deal with it, right? You have to realize this is here. This is reality, and you've got two options. You can either continue masking it, or you're gonna head on with it. The night that the Pulse shooting happened, that happened on a Saturday. And Birmingham Central Alabama Pride Fest is on Sunday. So we all actually woke up to the news that next morning. It was one of those moments. I was actually not on the board for Central Alabama Pride, but I had performed for 10 years in the past now. But it was that day. It was that Pride that I walked into Sloss and I saw thousands of people. And that changed. My view on the community changed.
How did it change?
We're still not safe. We're still different. We're still shamed. People still want to stone us. We're in 2019 and we've made no progress within humanity. It has to change, or we all lose.
Is there anything that you're hopeful about?
Allies. Allies are huge because there's a lot of them for a very small minority of us, and we need them. We need their voices. You can't thank them enough. You really can't. Because at the end of the day, you look back at civil rights and equality rights, it was volume. Volume definitely spoke. That we weren't alone. That we did have an army. That people did care about us. There are those people, for sure. And the fact that gay deaths and trans deaths don't even have to be tallied per state blows my mind. The numbers are increasing. We continue to hit record numbers. And they're still not even being published. It's just what we know about. It needs to be clearly identified. In all the small towns, you're still terrified to walk out and hold hands with someone of the same sex. I still, at the age of 30, am terrified at times to walk down the street and hold hands with someone that I love. And it shouldn't be like that. It really shouldn't.
Do you think it's worse in Alabama versus other places?
No, I don't. Because it just takes that one. It takes the one radical. And they're everywhere. There's somebody's brother. There's somebody's best friend. There's somebody's old college roommate. It's radicals that, again, we don't have enough data to capture that these criminals are doing what they do. We're not tracing the hate groups. You know, if you put something out on Facebook right now that I wanted to kill the president, you would instantly be put on the FBI watch list. The data could be traced. The data could be collected. People's doors could be knocked on. But we don't. We're too busy worrying about building a fucking wall to look at what we're doing to ourselves. There's a lot of great organizations within the city, for sure. We have the Magic City Wellness Clinic, Magic City Acceptance Project, and there's so many throughout Birmingham. It takes a village.
What's your favorite part about being you?
I'm different. I'm not mainstream. I am me. I am my own body. I am my own being. And it's pretty great. I'm Ashton the Originator.
Ashton the Originator, yes.
It takes voices like mine and other voices that you've heard throughout this documentary to kind of capture all the differences, all the colors of the rainbow within us. And it takes all those stories. It takes the triumphs, the battles, to have our story heard. It's very important.
Boom, boom, boom. Excellent.